Hey guys, Ultron Prime here, and welcome back to more Portal. Now, before today's video starts, I just want to explain why I hadn't uploaded any videos in 2 months. It's because I have been having mic trouble, but don't worry, I got it fixed now. Now, also, this is gonna be different because I already played Portal 1 on my own time, like on my own free time. So I'm gonna play it, but with developer commentary on. So you're gonna see me play through all of Portal 1 with commentary. And if you don't see any achievements that should be there but aren't, that's because I already completed the main campaign on my own time, like I said before. So. Huh? Cheats? I don't want cheats. Oh well.
Welcome to
Game Name here.
Hopefully you've already had a chance to enjoy
Oh my
the
god,
offbeat
I just noticed.
perspective and new game mechanic of Portal. To listen to a commentary node, put your crosshair over the floating commentary symbol and press your use key. To stop a commentary node, put your crosshair over the rotating node and press the use key again. Some commentary nodes may take control of the game in order to show something to you. In these cases, simply press your use key again to stop the commentary. Please let me know what you think after you've had a chance to play, as we think we are just at the beginning of taking advantage of this type of gameplay. I can be reached at gaben@valvesoftware.com. Thanks, and have fun.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that because, well, this game's like 10 years old already.
One of the things we learned from Narbacular Drop, our student project that became Portal, was that players often thought portals took them into other spaces, or even other dimensions. To help fight that notion, we start players in a visually unique room with memorable objects, so that when they walk through the portal for the first time, they have a clear point of reference which communicates the idea that they're still breathing detention. For instance, the radio, which is playing an instrumental version of Still Alive, helps as well by providing some audio content.
Before we start, however, keep in mind that although fun and learning are the primary goals of all enrichment center activities, serious injuries may occur. For your own safety and the safety of others, please refrain from turn back. The portal will open in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so I'm just gonna wait until like either the developer stops talking, GLaDOS stops talking, or both. But here we go.
It's absolutely critical that players quickly wrap their heads around what a portal is. We noticed early playtesters grasped the concept much more quickly when they caught a glimpse of themselves through a portal. So we deliberately positioned this first portal to ensure that players will invariably see themselves.
We put the player character in an orange jumpsuit to reinforce the fact that she's a test subject. Visually, the warmer colors helped her pop out against the colder tones of her environment. Some playtesters were wondering why she could fall so far without getting hurt the way she would have if she were in Half-Life 2. In response, we added a mechanized heel spring to her lower legs. Afterwards, there was no longer any question about why she could survive such long falls.
That's because she had the long fall boots. Okay, so technically they're not boots; they're just like spring additions.
These frosted glass observation rooms make the player feel as if they're being watched at all times, while keeping the identity of these watchers a mystery. The rooms serve a practical purpose as well, since we often use them as convenient and logical light sources for the test chambers.
Okay, I'm gonna turn both audio sources up a little bit. Okay, there we go.
Portal is effectively an extended player training exercise. We spend a huge portion of the game introducing a series of gameplay tools, then layering those tools into increasingly difficult puzzles. This layering starts here, where we train the button and box mechanic, before introducing the more complicated concept of portals.
Now it's weird. GLaDOS should have talked by now.
Excellent.
There it is.
Please proceed into the chamber lock after completing each test. First, however, note the incandescent particle field across the exit. This Aperture Science Material Emancipation Grill will vaporize any unauthorized equipment that passes through it. For instance, the Aperture Science Weighted Storage Cube.
Sorry, I just had lunch from Subway, so I just drank some Coke.
Please place the weighted storage cube on the 1500 megawatt Aperture Science Heavy Duty Super Colliding Super Button.
We wanted players to feel safe while standing in a portal, so we never kill them or destroy objects within a portal that's closing. Instead, we either push or teleport objects out of a portal as it closes.
Okay. Come on. Boom. Now we just wait until we get there.
Perfect.
And voila.
Please move quickly to the chamber lock, as the effects of prolonged exposure to the button are not part of this test.
We very deliberately introduce and train each gameplay concept in Portal, so that once players reach this spot, we're confident that they know what a portal is and roughly how it works. Early versions of the game let players stumble through the beginning without always understanding what was going on, which really compromised teaching new concepts. The puzzle you just finished was designed so that stumbling around will almost always lead to a dead end. Completing the puzzle requires walking through a minimum of 5 portals in a specific order. This kind of gating, in which a solid understanding of key gameplay concept is required for success, helped standardize the learning curve of the game tremendously.
Not interesting. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this gameplay is I was actually back in my dorm room, like back in college. I mean, I'm done with college now, but when I was back at college, I was thinking to myself, what if I made a Portal 1? What if I made a Portal 1 gameplay with developer commentary like I did?
Very well. Please be advised that a noticeable taste of blood is not part of any test protocol, but is an unintended side effect of the Aperture Science Material Emancipation Grill, which may, in semi-rare cases, emancipate dental fillings, crowns, tooth enamel, and teeth.
Okay, so as I was saying, I was actually thinking to myself, what if I did a Portal 1 gameplay with commentary on, like I did with Half-Life 2, Lost Coast.
In early versions of this map, playtesters would charge down the stairs without noticing what was creating the portals. We introduced a mandatory pause in the action, what we call a gate, to help ensure that players stop and notice the portal gun making the blue portal. Particle effect and a loud noise help draw their attention.
Okay, I gotta do... That should be enough. There it is.
Very good. You are now in possession of the Aperture Science handheld portal device. With it, you can create your own portals. These intradimensional gates have proven to be completely safe. The device, however, has not. Do not touch the operational end of the device. Do not look directly at the operational end of the device. Do not submerge the device in liquid, even partially. Most importantly, under no circumstances should...
I really need a mouse pad. Because I'm using like a wooden desk, and I usually put drinks on it, but nah. Damn it. Oh, I guess I'll have to make do.
Please proceed to the chamber lock. Mind the gap.
This room was designed to make players understand that entrance and exit portals aren't tied to the color of the portal. Playtesters often assumed that orange portals were exit only, so we created this puzzle to force players to enter an orange portal.
When rendering the player's view through a portal, we must render a separate image using a virtual camera which looks out of the opposite portal. To obtain a correct image and efficient rendering performance, we render only what is visible to the limited field of view of the opposite portal and exclude objects which lie between the virtual camera and the plane of the opposite portal.
Well done. Remember, the Aperture Science Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is the perfect time to have her tested.
Okay. So, about the Bring Your Daughter to Work Day. Now that is actually part of the Portal continuity. It's because, well, it's where GLaDOS actually, unleashed the neurotoxin and killed everyone in the facility. Except Ratman and Chell.
The combination of portal-destroying fields, which we call fizzlers, and the elevators, serve a dual purpose.
First and last.
They provide a clearly identifiable endpoint for each test chamber, while also addressing the more practical problem of how to keep players from portaling across level loads. We eventually integrated the fizzlers into several of our puzzle designs.
Nope. Okay. And I just realized you could just, And I just realized you could just pause it at any time.
Welcome to Test Chamber 4. You're doing quite well.
For training purposes, there's generally just one correct solution to these early puzzles. The original version of this room didn't have the glass barrier. Playtesters would often stand on the button to open the door and then shoot a blue portal through the opening, bypassing the box entirely. Since this puzzle was meant to illustrate the relationship between boxes and buttons, that solution, while clever, was a failure. So we added the glass barrier to prevent it. Later in the game, however, the puzzles become more open-ended.
Oh.
Integrating portals.
My bad.
Integrating portals with Source Engine's physics system was a complex process that required several iterations to achieve the right balance of performance and correctness. Because portals can be placed virtually anywhere in the game's environment, the physics system had to be modified to allow dynamic changes to its representation of colliding geometry, such as the walls and floor around this box, and any objects which may lie on the opposite side of the portal. Initial implementations of this dynamic collision generation system could take up to 1/2 of 1 second, or 500 milliseconds, to compute the correct collision. This may not sound like a long time in everyday life, but this pause during the portal creation was quite noticeable in the context of a game. Ultimately, we designed a system that creates temporary hybrid physics environments in bubbles around the portals, using less accurate collision than that produced by Source's standard collision generation, but was accurate enough in practice and reduced the time to create dynamic collision representation from 500 milliseconds to just 10 milliseconds, which is an imperceptible pause during portal creation.
Now you see why I turned it on. I'm actually very interested in game design. Not like doing it myself, I just thought it's interesting of how they did it.
Once again, excellent work. As part of our required test protocol, we will not monitor the next test chamber. You will be entirely on your own. Good luck.
Okay, so you're wondering why this one's green. It's because it's actually part of achievement actually that I've been working on in my own time. Transmission received is the thing I've been working on. So that's why it's green. I won't do it in this playthrough. Trust me, I won't. Alright, we're, Chamber 5. Nothing, GLaDOS? Okay.
Early versions of Portal featured more detailed, cluttered environments, much like Half-Life 2. We quickly realized that unnecessary objects scattered all over the place distracted players to the point where it actually interfered with the Portal training process. So we simplified the art style to favor clean, focused test chambers. The modular approach we settled on makes it look plausible that the chambers can reform dynamically on these pistons.
Alright.
As part of a required test protocol, our previous statement suggesting that we would not monitor this chamber was an outright fabrication. Good job. As part of a required test protocol, we will stop enhancing the truth in 3, 2.
Alright.
While safety is one of many Enrichment Center goals, the Aperture Science High Energy pellet seen to the left of the chamber can and has caused permanent disabilities such as vaporization. Please be careful.
To make puzzles deeper than just teleporting to the exit, we had to include surfaces that won't hold a portal, which are formally introduced here. We experimented with several surface designs before we settled on this one, whose visual noise and reflectivity make it easy to identify at a distance.
I actually like the energy pellet.
Unbelievable. You.
Subject name here.
Must be the pride of.
Subject hometown here.
Yeah, I really gotta get a mouse pad. I don't know which mouse pad, but I will get a mouse pad.
Warning devices are required on all mobile equipment. However, alarms and flashing hazard lights have been found to agitate the high energy pellet and have therefore been disabled for your safety. Good. Now use the Aperture Science unstationary scaffold to reach the chamber lock.
Right after I check out the commentary node. I will do all of them.
Originally, these scaffolds ran on electrified tracks, but crafty playtesters would hop along the rails to the exit, bypassing the puzzle entirely. We tried to solve this by killing players as soon as they touched the rails. That solution ended up being too much of an overcorrection, as even skilled playtesters were getting frustrated by these one-hit kills in the more complex puzzles later in the game. Making the scaffolds run along immaterial beams of light solved both problems.
Oh yeah, I also just realized something. You can actually listen to these like commentaries in Gmod. I'll from next Gmod video, I will do it. Trust me.
Please note that we have added a consequence for failure. Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck.
Even though layering player training was a design goal from the start, we still ended up introducing some concepts too quickly. For instance, this used to be the first energy ball redirection puzzle. Playtesting revealed that this puzzle introduced too many new concepts at once, which ended up frustrating a lot of playtesters. In response, we inserted 2 test chambers before this one to make the energy ball redirection training more gradual.
We previously talked about how we handle static portal collision, but collision with moving objects on the other side of a portal is a completely different and equally hard problem. Walking onto this scaffold was a very iffy proposition for the first few months of development. To solve the problem of colliding with identity objects by cloning the objects from one portal to the other and strictly controlling what objects are allowed to collide with each other and how they're allowed to collide.
Well, I have the subtitles on. You can just read that. Oh, by the way, so Fortnite is becoming a new thing. I'm not gonna do Fortnite. I'm not gonna do Fortnite videos, ever. Okay? It's overrated. I'm not doing Fortnite.
The Enrichment Center regrets to inform you that this next test is impossible. Make no attempt to solve it.
Okay, let's see what the developers have to say.
Because our test chamber environments were simplified for training purposes, we created visual hotspots within the rooms to guide players' attention. The design is essentially a balance between round objects and sharp objects. The sharp objects representing background elements, and the round objects, such as doors and movable props,
the Enrichment
comprising
Center
our points of view.
Damn it!
For this clearly broken test chamber.
For the first few months of development, we rendered the views through portals to two. For the first few months of development, we rendered the views through portals to 2 off-screen textures. This approach was easy to implement and was compatible with a wide range of graphics hardware.
Damn it!
Unfortunately, this method was incompatible with anti-aliasing and consumed a large amount of video memory in order to handle recursive views through several portals. Because of these disadvantages, we switched for the first.
You know what? You know what? Fuck that. Oh yeah, that's right. The actor who played Robbie Rotten in LazyTown died recently.
Frankly, this chamber was...
Shut up, GLaDOS!
If we were you, we would quit now. Fantastic. You remain resolute and resourceful in an atmosphere of extreme pessimism.
Yeah, the guy who played Robbie Rotten in those like LazyTown show, I think it's called. He died recently, like a day or 2 ago. You know, the guy who sings "We Are Number One." He passed.
Hello again. To reiterate, previously. Momentum.
Portal momentum ended up being the hardest concept to convey. For this series of puzzles, which went through more design iterations than virtually any other part of the game, we introduced the idea of redirecting your momentum using portals, slowly, step by step. We even have the AI voice pretty explicitly explain the elements of the puzzle, something we avoided throughout most of the rest of the game.
Oh yeah. Also, I just found it a really cool thing in Portal 2. So, when GLaDOS is explaining like something in really fast, if you slow it down, she actually says something. Tell you guys what. If I find the video, I'll put the link in the description.
Using gravity to fall into one portal so that you come rocketing out the other portal, a skill we call flinging, was another difficult concept to train. We designed a specific visual cue, a pushed-out concrete block with checkerboard tile above a pit, to indicate to players that it's time to use the fling maneuver. Repeated several times, this cue helps players associate pushed-out concrete slabs with flinging, in much the same way that players learn to associate cubes with buttons.
Spectacular. You appear to understand how a portal affects forward momentum, or to be more precise, how it does not.
Shit, how am I supposed to get that one? Well, here goes nothing.
Momentum, a function of mass and velocity, is conserved between portals.
Hang on.
In layman's terms, speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out.
I have an idea. Damn it. Damn it. I will get that. I will.
Originally, these exit portal surfaces were static geometry in the final position, but playtesters stubbornly refused to look up to find them. This is another example of the classic game design problem of coaxing players to look up. By putting the portals on moving pistons, we were able to start them in a position that players were more likely to see.
You guys couldn't see me, but you guys didn't see me, but when I got it, I put my hands in the air. Like, I got it, kind of thing. I don't know when I'm gonna end the episode, but there it is. That's where we get the secondary.
The Enrichment Center promises to always provide a safe testing environment. In dangerous testing environments, the Enrichment Center promises to always provide useful advice. For instance, the floor here will kill you. Try to avoid it.
Obviously.
We found that rather than looking into portals to see where it went, playtesters would often leap blindly to their doom. In response to this observation, the moral of this puzzle is look before you leap. The safe orange portal is out of the player's view from this balcony. That forces them to peer through a portal to see it, which trains players in their remote viewing capabilities of portals.
Now this one.
Originally, a weighted button was used to open the far door, but playtesters so strongly associated boxes with buttons that they'd get stuck searching hopelessly for a box. We changed the big button to a pedestal-mounted push button, thus removing the box feature. But playtesters still had trouble realizing they needed to shoot a portal through the door. Adding a ticking timer sound when the door was open cued players that the puzzle expected them to act during that time, which solved the problem.
Wow. I didn't even notice that I actually got it. I just randomly. I just randomly went for it. That's pretty much it.
The device has been modified so that it can now manufacture 2 linked portals at once. As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact. The device is now more valuable than the organs and combined incomes of everyone in
Subject hometown here.
Alright.
This room is designed to build anticipation for the big moment when players finally get the fully powered portal gun. The puzzle path brings you in a circle around the device, so that it's virtually always in sight, right up until you grab it.
Yeah, this is a big moment. We got the dual portal device. Well, this is like my 3rd or 4th time playing this. I don't even know, in some I might not get.
Player training doesn't always stick.
Fling yourself. Rippling into space.
Player training doesn't always stick, especially after the introduction of a big new concept. For instance, after they had acquired the fully powered portal device, playtesters often forgot about the fling maneuver. Since it's such an important skill, this puzzle is designed to reintroduce the idea of flinging.
I was waiting for that part. This part.
Now that you are in control of both portals, this next test could take a very, very long time. If you become lightheaded from thirst, feel free to pass out. An intubation associate will be dispatched to revive you with peptic salve and adrenaline.
When we moved from largely placeholder art to our final visual design, this was the first level to the facelift. We chose this map because it had many of our gameplay elements integrated into a relatively small space. The test chamber art direction was designed to make everything appear purposefully placed. The simple design helps focus players on the puzzles. It also provides a nice contrast to the later, much less sterile behind-the-scenes environment.
Oh, shit, lag.
Which contributes to a...
Oh, hold on. Zoom is messaging me. I'm just telling them I'm recording. he says hi. But I'll just say that I'll call him back. Oh, forgot about this one.
This is the first map in which we experimented with solving the puzzle in as few portal play placements as possible. We tried to fit that concept into the story mode, but were never quite able to sell it. Instead of abandoning the idea altogether, we added the concept up to a series of post-game challenge maps.
Hang on.
As part of a previously mentioned required test protocol, we can no longer lie to you. When the testing is over, you will be missed.
A problem we came across with virtually any puzzle involving boxes and doors was that the players could portal the boxes to the other side of the door, thereby trapping themselves in a room with buttons but no boxes. We set up special triggers to detect and handle these cases, and then added the box delivery tubes to ensure players could always be supplied with the required tools.
Nice. Oh yeah, if you guys wanted to know what Zoom wanted, I think he just wanted me to see his Arkham Knight gameplay. So lately he's been having me watch his gameplay of Arkham Knight via Discord. So there you go.
All subjects intending to handle high-energy gamma-leaking portal technology must be informed that they may be informed of applicable regulatory compliance issues. No further compliance information is required or will be provided, and you are an excellent test subject.
A few playtesters put a portal on the floor here and used the rising stair pit to skip the rest of the puzzle. We'll usually rework a level if playtesters discover a way to bypass chunks of the puzzle too easily. But in this and a few other cases where skipping ahead arguably takes more skill than solving the puzzle properly, we let the ninja solution stand.
This is a great spot to appreciate the recursive nature of portals. If you place a portal on each side of this hallway, you'll notice the portals seem to go on forever, similar to the effect you get in a Hall of Mirrors. In actuality, we support a maximum of 9 recursive portal views down any chain of portals. We achieve the impression of infinite recursion by copying part of the previously rendered frame onto the final portal in the recursive chain. It's not perfect, but it's inexpensive and effective.
We designed this room to draw the player's eyes to the box. The light from the observation room casts horizontal shadows that point at the box, which is directly lit by a warm light from the ceiling. This warm light helps the box stand out against the predominantly cool test chamber lighting. The varying size squares of the off-limit surface also help direct the player's attention upward.
What? Hi. Yeah, you can't zoom. Got it.
Very good. A complimentary victory lift has been activated in the main chamber.
You know what? I think I'm gonna end that episode there. So, that is it for this time. If you enjoyed this video, I'll leave a like and subscribe. Ultron Prime, out.